Welcome to Virtual Concert Hall's live programs. Thank you for joining us. My name is Jennifer Savage, and I'll be your host for today's show. We're excited to be presenting the premiere of the Jack Price is Right live show. In this debut of Jack Price is Right, we start off with a whopping topic, truth. We're going to be getting into two important distinctions. What is truth? And what is the truth? Together, we'll explore the truth as it relates to our lives and experiences, anywhere from the lens of musician, artist, manager, performer, and all the way down to eye level with the crude and unfiltered human being. There's no one-size-fits-all answer, and this could leave you with more questions than answers, but it's more real that way, and that's what we're here for. And all of this is because it is our passion to be connecting musicians and audiences in real-time musical performances and live programs from around the globe. Hello and welcome. Great to have you join us, and welcome to the Jack Price is Right live show. I'm your host, Jennifer Savage. It's great to be here, and today I'm excited to be joined live with my co-host and celebrated partner in crime, Tigran Atamian, otherwise known as Jack Price. The artist formerly known as Tigran Atamian began his career in artist management in response to his own career as an RCA recording artist after winning first prize in the 50th anniversary Naumburg competitions, as well as a crazy pianist who premiered The Right for solo piano. Hey, Jack, welcome to the show.
The real truth is Abby Simon should be. Yeah,
there we go.
The real truth is Abby Simon should be alive because he's the guy that told that crazy pianist in the beginning to tape up his fingers.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, we were in the Juilliard
How was that
lunchroom. Oh, I mean, it was just insane. I said, "Are you kidding me?" He said, "Well, your fingers are bleeding at the quick." And so, right there, underneath. And so he said, "Tape them up." And he showed me meticulously for an hour how to tape my fingers up.
Did that help you get closer to the truth in the Ravel?
No, the truth is he should be alive. That is the truth.
Wow. Okay.
No, it didn't get closer to the Ravel. It just made it so I had to think about getting in between the black keys. That's the truth. It was really hard.
All right. So the truth is between the keys.
Go to the fall board.
Right.
That's the truth. Yeah, the fall board is where all the action is. That's the truth.
Okay, well, let's get right into it.
Yeah, let's get right into it.
Let's dive headfirst into the truth. So
Yeah. Well,
what's that all
here,
about? What are you talking
yeah, I
about when you're
know.
talking
What's
about
it
the
all
truth?
about,
That's
Alfie? I
what
know. The
tell
thing
us what
is
tell the audience.
that the topic is so broad that, it really opens up all kinds of what Pandora boxes, right?
Yeah.
So the way I came up with this concept is I have these little sermonettes in my mind, that I kind of envisioned myself as a priest once. I know you can run the
Okay.
laugh track now. Yeah, I know. And so, and then, and then a lot. Yeah, I know.
Hmm.
That's good. So,
Yeah.
and that was the
So you're
reaction
a
to most of my
priest.
friends. Well, no, I was thinking about becoming one, and then I quickly abridged that opinion. Shortened it to no.
Okay.
And
All
so, I
right.
mean, pianist, priest, content manager, whatever it is, uh, general manager. How many names can you
Hmm.
have in titles? On the other hand, I do have a lot of names, and you'd be shocked to
That
know
you
it, all the
do.
names I've gone by besides Jack Price. But anyway, when they're mad at Jack, I just come up with another name like Philip Spencer. Oh, hello, that kind of thing, or Richard Rito. Excuse me, I just
Uh-huh.
change my voice, and then something happens. So hopefully magic. But anyway, back to the
Something
truth.
changes. Yeah. But
Something
yeah.
definitely has to change. That's the truth. Something needs to change right now. Anyway, so
But
I
back to the
I
truth. What's that all about?
yeah, I know
What's
I
that to
can't get to
you?
it because there is no truth. That's the real truth. No, I'm not. I'm just kidding.
Well, that's
There
the
in a
show, everybody.
no. The premise is there is no truth, but there is truth. Haven't you ever had one of those? What are they called? Oxymorons or
Paradoxical.
enigmas or paradox. I don't know the definitions of things, but I really love to toss those words around. You'll notice that throughout the series that I'm just full of words.
Great.
Anyway,
Love to
so
hear it.
here's the deal. I came up with this
Mhm.
idea of the Latin translation and the Greek translation of the Bible and not to proselytize, by the way. I just want to make that announcement, make it very clear.
Right.
When Jesus says to Pilate, Pontius Pilate, uh, I was born for one reason, to bear witness to the truth. And those who, I guess he said, those who hear the truth or want to hear the truth or desire the truth, hear my voice. Now, we'll get into that later, that phrase, not about him, but about what he
Mhm.
said. But the
Right.
question is, did he say the truth? And did Pilate say sarcastically to him, what is truth? Or did Pilate say, what is the truth? Because it's not clear in any of the translations of the Bible that it's the truth or truth. So let's get into that. If you're saying
Mhm.
what is truth, which I've asked myself a million times, that's a definition. I'm looking for, you and I and everybody else is looking for a definition of the truth. So,
The word
what
itself.
is the word itself? What is truth?
Hmm.
Okay. And by the way, and, this show has a lot of questions and very few answers. So I just wanted to make
Yep.
that very clear. No,
Underline that.
we're gonna get through. Yeah, look, we're gonna get, not to be facetious or anything, but we're gonna get to answers through more questioning. I mean, I
Mhm.
feel that when you go in for a piano lesson, for example, instead of saying, what, how do I play this?
Right.
That's not really what you should say. You should just let the teacher or whoever, the pedagogue, expound on their experiences with that passage and so on, and then they ask more questions from the student than the student asks the teacher. And that's how you find the truth, or your truth, or nothing but the truth, so help me God. No, I'm just saying
So
it's
then, do the
very
answers lie somewhere in that process?
yeah, the answers lie in the questions. That's what I'm saying. It's
Gotcha.
questions. Have you ever heard, someone says, "Oh, they're really intelligent because they ask a lot of questions." I always judge a person by how many questions they ask and the quality of questions they ask as to how I ascertain whether they're intelligent or not. If they just sit there and go, "Premium management." Oh, yeah, okay. I think I'll take premium management. And that's it. And that's all they say. Well, that's not
Mhm.
a conversation. That's a one-way track. It's not a two-way passage. Conversations have to include the other person, hopefully,
Right.
instead of just a monologue like I'm doing right now. No, you're doing great. Savage,
Okay.
you're good. Savage is
Yeah.
good. She was handpicked for this job. I want everybody to know, she's just
All right.
really on the money. You should
All
hear
right.
her
But so
play
let
too.
me
But
ask you.
anyway,
This.
back
Of
to the
all the
truth.
topics, right?
Go
Let me
ahead.
ask
Go
you
ahead.
this.
Yeah,
So
go
of
ahead.
all the topics, so why did you want to tackle something like the truth, especially
Oh,
in this
because I'm all about the truth. Now, run the laugh track. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Okay. So
right?
I'm about three things. People may not believe this. I'm about justice, I'm about excellence, and I'm about the truth. And they're all related. I don't care about piano playing. As long as those three things are satisfied, I could be a garbage collector for all I care. I just don't care that much. What you do is not important, it's how you do it. The truth
Okay.
is, if you're working at McDonald's and you're doing your job up to the hilt, that's the truth. That's real. If you're going there and going, oh man, I really hate this job, and you go, what do you want? And that kind of thing to the customer, that's pretty bad. That's go get another job. The truth is you're unhappy, so get another job. And then they say, well, there are no other jobs. And it's just a cycle. So back
So
to the
yeah.
truth and truth. The truth means there's only one truth. And I contend, and you can write this down, that there is only one truth and all other truths are a part of that truth. All yours, all mine, the whole world's opinions, they're all about being a part of the truth.
You're talking
Now,
about each person's truth individually.
each person's truth individually is a part of the truth.
Okay.
There's no refuting that, because how can there be more than one truth?
What do you mean? There's no refuting that.
Well, there's no refuting it, because the truth means the truth. If you say, oh, this is the truth and that's the truth and that's the truth, that means there isn't one truth. That means the word doesn't mean anything. Truth means nothing if there are millions of truths. Come on. Think about it. What's the point of defining the truth if there is no truth? Okay, think about it. Okay, now let's go to truth, not the truth, because that's kind of like, my opinion, your opinion. But truth is basically something that's a verifier, something that verifies that this is right. For example, we talked about this before, you and I. When you're crying, okay, everybody cries, right? We have to all admit, at some point in our life, we're going to cry, okay, men included, right? Okay,
right.
so when you're crying, is it sad tears, or are they sad tears, or are they happy tears? And are they real tears? The guy in jail that gets caught, like the criminal that's caught for shoplifting, he's crying in jail. You know why? He's not crying because he's remorseful and that he did something wrong. He's crying because he got caught with his hand in the cookie jar.
So there's a difference in tears, different types.
There are all kinds of different types of tears. I suppose they're basically in two categories, sad or happy. And that's how I think of it. So they're not, though. Okay, that's the truth. The truth is those tears are verifying that the feeling you are having at that moment is true. That's my truth. Okay, and that could be part of the overall truth, but think about it. When you're crying, it's such a overwhelming kind of feeling when you cry, right? You just can't help it. Because you're crying, you're not fake, you're not an actor. Now, those people who can do that, they're paid a lot of money to cry on the spot, because they can go to a spot in their brain about a distant experience and say, oh, I need to cry right there. Boom. And they cry. I can't do that. I mean, I could never be an actor.
But you're talking about true tears that actually
true. Yeah, well, of course I'm talking about true tears. I don't think there are any other kind, but obviously there are, because in acting, those are fake tears, but maybe not so fake, because they're drawing on a past experience that brings them to tears, but not necessarily a bad experience, not
Mhm.
necessarily a good experience, but an experience that brings them to tears. The tears are the verifier. If you're a believer, you feel that
Mhm.
it's the Holy Ghost. That's what Christians believe. I don't know what Buddhists feel. I'm not adept at, I don't know all the religions.
Mhm.
I'm not really familiar with all of them. But basically, I think if you're crying in any religion, it's saying that, oh yeah, what I'm feeling right now is really true. Like I'm verifying my feelings through the tears. I'm feeling remorse. I'm feeling, oh, wow, I got caught. I'm feeling, oh, someone died. I'm feeling, da 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 da. I lost
Mhm.
my girlfriend, boyfriend, wife, whatever. They left
Mhm.
me. I'm in tears. Okay. I'm not
Mhm.
saying the tears are justified or anything like that, but they're definitely saying that whatever just happened to you or that feeling you're having is true. Okay.
So you're saying throughout our lives, when genuine heartfelt tears come out, those are sort of moments in our lives where the truth comes out, where we feel it in ourselves, and that's where we can verify the truth.
I think
So,
I think tearful situations are true situations. Yes,
for true.
that's a way of putting it. So,
How did you come up with that? How did you figure that out?
oh well, I mean, I have a weird analytical mind. It's how I came up why home run hitters strike out so much. That's another
All
episode.
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I have a totally unique approach
Baseball.
to.
Hmm.
Yeah, I have an approach that was given to me by Dizzy Dean, the great pitching ace for the Cardinals. But then I crystallized it. I went further. He died, and I went on with that idea. I tend to do that. People just drop off the face of the earth. I take their ideas and I keep going and needling myself to death until I
Hmm.
get the answer. And I do have the
Yeah.
answer in the case of hitting. I think you'll
Hmm.
hear about that. But
Right.
that's, in a way we're getting off topic simply because this is the first show and I kind of want to let everybody know what the show is about.
Hmm.
Okay? And yes, this is about the truth, but the truth is there are so many topics to cover, they're all going to bleed into each other. Almost everything is the same.
They're all
Almost
interconnected.
everything. It's all interconnected. Like
Hmm.
people say, oh, well, how do you relate piano playing to baseball? Or how do you relate baseball to selling a piece of furniture in a furniture shop? Well, actually, they're all incredibly connected. Everything is the same. Like in music, everything's the same except for stylistic differentiation. I mean, your Tchaikovsky can't sound like your Brahms, and your Brahms can't
Hmm.
sound like your Beethoven or Bach, but it is the same. They're all eighth notes and quarter notes and this and directives like diminuendo and crescendo, and they all look the same 4/4 time, 3/4 time. It's all the same stuff. It goes
Hmm.
to the premise of why do we have so many artists? Because let's be honest, we all play the same music the same way, kind of, you know. And people,
Kind of,
oh
more or less.
no, his interpretation is so much better. Is it really? The point is all of it is in a sort of school of playing or music making. It's a style, but the composers and the periods of time, like
Mhm.
Rococo, Baroque, classical, romantic, contemporary, impressionistic,
Mhm.
expressionistic, 20th century, avant garde, these are all stylistic differentiations. And that's all
Mhm.
we have. But music's the same. It's made out of the same guts. It's like saying, you and I are different. Well, we're not. We both have a brain, I assume. We both have eyes. We both have lips. We both have noses, and we both have teeth. And even though mine
Mhm.
are, I look like Bugs Bunny and yours don't. Okay, so you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
I think it's funny. Anyway, I told him to do that. So,
Right.
No, anyway, the point
Mhm.
is that you can that's another thing about the truth or truth, you can
Mhm.
find it everywhere. The problem is very few of us are willing to let it in. Okay? It's knocking at our door,
Okay.
but we're not allowing the truth in. You see, and that's the problem, I
Why is
think,
that?
because we're afraid of the truth. Everyone is fear is the worst thing in the world, and people fear the unknown. They fear the thing they're not familiar with, and the truth is certainly not familiar to most people because it's disturbing. It bothers them. If I were, that's called being self-effacing. Okay, one
Mhm.
time a critic, oh, he's self-effacing. That means exposing your innermost feelings when you play. His
Yeah.
playing or her playing was self-effacing. That's what that's what this is all about, being truthful to yourself, taking
Mhm.
an inventory of yourself, as my father used to say. Oh, take an inventory of yourself. That he used to whine a lot, so I imitate him all the time. I'm into imitating
Okay.
people. Now listen
Yeah.
to me. I know,
Is
I
that
mean,
where you
it's
get it
just the,
from?
that's where I get it from. I started imitating my father, and then I said, huh, this is very truthful. I sound just like him. I think I can imitate other people. And
Yeah.
so anyway, that's where I got that. And so
Mhm.
but well, of course, imitation is the greatest form of flattery. Rich Little used to say that all the time because he was so masterful at imitations. But anyway, the truth is all around you. It's all around you. I mean, I'm looking around in this room and it's all there. All I have to do is soak it up, let it in, and just live in the moment instead of all this fearful stuff. You have nightmares, and there's nothing to fear, just like FDR said, but fear itself. Fear is fearful. That's the truth. You're not really afraid of, oh, is that iced coffee going to poison me? Or, if I don't drink a lot of water, am I going to get a UTI and end up in the hospital like I did? No, no.
Okay.
It's the truth will, this is a total cliche, set
Mhm.
you free. It will. These sayings, by the way, we have an episode, I think 50 episodes from now, about sayings. I'm not sure
Mhm.
when it comes in the series of shows, but
Right.
sayings are really true. There we go. The truth
Is that
again.
true? Are they all true?
Absolutely. Oh, they're almost all true. Think of every saying you know. Okay, here's one. See if this you agree with this. Is this the truth? Once a
Mhm.
word remains in your mouth, you're the master. Once a word leaves your mouth, you're a slave. Is that true? It most certainly is. That means shut your mouth. That means, which I'm not really good at, by the way, but
Right.
it means
Okay.
means think before you say,
Mhm.
because once that word leaves your mouth, especially in these days with the internet and blah blah blah, but even in the
Mhm.
'60s, it's all out in the universe. It's out there. If you
Mhm.
say something and it escapes your lips and gets out of your mouth, out of your body, it's gone. You're a slave to that
It's not yours
statement.
anymore.
It's not yours anymore. They all own it. Okay.
Mhm.
So
Right.
is that saying true? I just made that up on the spot because I remembered my father saying it. My father had a lot of sayings, actually. I
Yeah.
shouldn't criticize him too much because he's a pretty brilliant guy. He used to say to
Mhm.
me, he says, "You're going to think I'm a genius someday." And then he called himself the Encyclopedia Britannica. He said, "I'm a cyclopedia." He couldn't say encyclopedia. Encyclopedia. He would say psychopedia. So I said, "Yeah, you are. You're." Now I'm saying, he's not with us anymore. He's a pretty damn smart guy. So
Is that
let's
where you
see.
get your sayings from?
Well, not just him, everybody. Kissinger said things that were absolutely masterful. He told me, I said to him one time, I said, he came to hear me play. I said,
Mhm.
why is everything so political? Like universities, you have a job at a school, everybody's out for your stuff and they want to
Mhm.
screw your students over. Here's the truth. He said, well, unilaterally speaking, no, he didn't say that. That's my imitation of him.
Right.
He said
Yeah.
to me, I could do the imitation, but I'll say it clearer because everybody will say I don't get that Israeli accent. So
Mhm.
go to your local university, and there you will find all you need to know about politics.
What do you mean?
And well, I was asking him, why is everyone political? And he said, just go to your local school, go to your local high school, university, whatever. Go to your local piano
Mhm.
teacher. Everything is political. We're all political. What does politics mean? It means aligning yourself with those who think like you do. That's being political.
That's what political means.
That's what political means.
Political.
In other words, basically shut out and it's a very bad thing, by the way, shut
What?
out everything that you don't agree with. Shut it out. Well, Lincoln had an antidote to that. Abraham Lincoln, when he won the White House, surrounded himself with 12 people in his cabinet. This is the truth. This is absolutely the truth, who disagreed with him on almost every subject. Why? Because he was a Republican. Of course, they've flip-flopped since then, but he had all Democrats around him, Secretary of State, Seward, and all these guys who disagreed with Lincoln on premises. And so Lincoln would go, okay, I'm going to take your idea and all these 11 ideas, 12 ideas, and then I'm going to come up with my own decision. So ideas create decisions, but not necessarily your own ideas or people who align yourself with your ideas, but people that are against you. That's what I learned from Lincoln, is that you should take everyone's opinion into consideration. You don't have to agree with it, but the truth will come out of all of that dissent, all of that disagreement, and you'll finally come to your truth, your decision. Okay, I'm going to invade Cambodia, or whatever. That was a decision Nixon made.
Right.
Okay, for good or for bad, I
Mm-hmm.
know that he considered a lot of people's opinions before he did that. Hence his 12 or 10 axioms of diplomacy and statesmanship that are on the internet. He wrote this Bible of 10 commandments on
Commandments,
statesmanship and diplomacy. They're brilliant. You should read them. And we'll probably delve into every one of them. Could be one show. You know what I mean?
But so you're saying listening to different opinions from your own and listening to those that don't align themselves with you, or that's where you can find truth from all these differences.
This is a pivotal point in people's thinking, and they should take the high road on this rather than going, oh yeah, that person's full of it. I totally disagree. I think they're a moron. No, just let it soak in. Look, I disagree with everybody. Laugh track. I disagree with I'm the most
right.
I'm the most disagreeable person on the planet, or disgruntled, maybe, like, Larry David moment. Yeah, I'm disgruntled. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, I'm not disgruntled, meaning I'm not the person named disgruntled, but an adjective to describe me would be, he's really disgruntled, or he's really disagreeable, or he's a legend in his own mind. You could apply all of those things to me, but that does not take me away from the truth. I love hearing all of this myriad of opinion. It's fascinating. Someone who totally goes to a concert that I went to and they have a totally different impression of the artist.
Right.
He was garbage. I think he's phenomenal. He thinks he's phenomenal. I think he's garbage. And then all the reasons why we think they're garbage and why they're phenomenal. You see?
Right. Well, then let's pivot here a little bit with, I think we've got a little clip we'd like to show to switch things up. Speaking of performances and interpretations and differences in interpretations. Let's check this out.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a good example of
Yeah.
the
I
truth.
think I'm
That's the
getting a
truth.
little closer to the
That's
truth.
yeah. That's. I mean, look,
Did you hear some in
everybody.
there?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to explain. I'm not saying that's the truth. I'm saying
Mhm.
everybody plays that opening. That was a good segue, by the way. I have to compliment you. That was the perfect
Thanks.
piece to pick because it's so unbelievably controversial. First of all, the
Mhm.
opening without Liszt, there's no Wagner, there's no Tristan. That opening tutti is like
Yeah.
pure Wagner, and Liszt thought of it first. So that's the truth. Liszt is the most underrated composer of all time. He's a genius. He's one of my absolute
Hot takes
the mind
with
is
Richie.
the mind of Liszt is beyond. It's like the mind of God. You can't understand it. He's really out there. Okay, there's
Really?
no way you can't understand. Do you know those harmonic progressions? Da, 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 da. I'm rushing
Mhm.
it, but those progressions are from a madman. No one can think of something like that. No, not Brahms. Nobody. It's Liszt. He's not my favorite
Mhm.
composer, but a pioneer.
Mhm.
So without the truth is without Liszt, there is no Wagner. There's a truth. Okay. The
Mhm.
second truth is that's the most controversial opening of a concerto that of all time. Everybody plays that like pointillistic music, like dum bum 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 prium, prium. And of course,
Right.
I move it, and it's a flurry. Get on with it. Why are you waiting?
Mhm.
Why is every note an island unto itself? No, it
Mhm.
has to move. Music moves horizontally. It doesn't move vertically. The only
Mhm.
thing vertical about music is conductors think, "Oh, we've got to be together." You know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's not music. That's being together.
Mhm.
If you feel it, the truth is, if the two people feel the music together, it's going to be together. Hello, that's what
Mhm.
together is, feeling
Mhm.
it, not vertically lining it up. That means
And the
nothing.
direction moves forward. It moves
Absolutely.
horizontally rather than we don't
Well,
think of it vertically.
okay, back to the truth and the truth. My truth is
Mhm.
music has to move all the time. It can never be static, even in the most static moments, like the second movement of the Schubert D major sonata.
Mhm.
Why would you make that vertical? I mean, I'm not a
Mhm.
singer, but it's got to move. Once
Mhm.
you move to that quaver, that long note, you've got to
Yeah.
wait and then move on and move the quick notes quicker. You can't make islands or pillars out of those single
Well,
quavers unto
mhm.
themselves. They sound moronic. But
So why do you think it
again,
is that it's such an easy trap for pianists to fall into that
oh, it's so
mistake?
easy because they think that the score is the Bible. That's why. It's not that.
True.
He
Yeah.
wrote forte there. He wrote a crescendo there and he wrote a
Mhm.
staccato. You're not doing that. I mean,
Mhm.
are you kidding me? Is this dial a joke? You know, have you ever heard of it? My answer to that student, somebody said that to me once. I said, have you ever heard of interpretation? And this guy goes, well, my teacher thought I had an excellent interpretive talent. And I said, well, you should go back to that teacher and soak up all the compliments because you're not going to get any here. I mean, what is
And
this
that's the
about
truth.
challenging teachers and saying that their teacher in high school said they were a genius? Well, go back to that teacher and let him keep telling you you're a genius. It's no problem. What are you doing here? What are you
Mhm.
asking me for? What are you asking me to critique you for? That's the truth. The truth is go back. You know,
If they're truly looking for the truth, right, then they wouldn't
no,
be asking you for more sung compliments, I suppose. Yeah.
well, that goes back to another truism is that if you love only the people who love you, what good is
Are
that?
you political
Any
then?
anybody
That
can do
means you're
that.
political. You're looking for
Yeah.
people that align perfectly with you,
Yeah.
and that's
See,
all. Yeah.
That's all you're about. I hate
Mhm.
politics. I hate every form of it, but mostly industry politics. And that's what I would like to
Mhm.
talk about in future. I think
Yeah.
in our industry of music or any industry, you've got people who want only people to think like they do. They're not interested in anyone else's ideas. And you see how narrow that is, right? I mean, you
Mhm.
can't possibly make a real consensus type decision with one idea, with one train of thought.
Mhm.
It's like having milk all day long or eating steak for a week solid. You're going to get sick, you know,
Right.
or having a bunch of chocolate malts for a week in a row. I mean, it one
Mhm.
thing can't solve your problem. There is no one answer either. That's another truth,
There's no
you
one
know.
size fits
But
all.
but you realize we're getting around. This is beautiful. We're getting around to all these truths, and they're only part of the truth. Now I'm going to tell you what the truth is from my standpoint. People have
Yeah.
been asking me all my life. Here's the truth: until history repeats itself over and over and over. And I've always wondered why don't we learn from our mistakes? How come we're repeating the same mistake over and over? And I'll tell you why. This
Like you're
is just
talking about
my
with the verticality.
verticality. Alexander the Great and Genghis Khan and Caesar trying to conquer the world. All they want is blood and guts and take over real estate. They just want to expand their borders. That's all. They're into power and
Mhm.
control and killing everybody to get that control. Okay, why is that? It's because they don't have a change of heart. If everyone had a change of heart like Kennedy did when he asked for world peace and disarmament, and the industrial war complex said, oh no, we're going to kill that guy because we're not making any money off him. If
Mhm.
we're going to disarm, we're not making money. Okay. So they got rid of him. Okay. Here's the deal:
Mhm.
until you have a change of heart like Kennedy had, he was a good man. He had flaws. He wasn't ready for the presidency, but he was a good man. And that really counts for a lot. And someone came into the Oval Office and changed him. Okay, it's a story we won't go
Yeah.
into now. And he had a change of heart. And in that moment, he told Bobby, he said, oh, we have to. He went straight to the UN, made this glorious, incredibly detailed speech about disarmament. Next thing you know, he's dead. So
Mhm.
if you don't change your heart, and I'm not saying how to change your heart, but you got to change it. You can't stay the same. We're
You
never
have to
gonna
change.
we're never going to not repeat history. We are gonna. Here's the saying: the definition of insanity, which we're all guilty of, is this:
Mhm.
if you do the same thing over and over and expect a different result, you're insane. And we're all guilty of it. So that means we all have to change our heart. We all have to get together and change the world as we know it. But it can only happen one heart at a time. It can only happen with your person inside, in here,
Mhm.
changing. Then we have a chance. Then we have a chance for change. You know how all these politicians, oh, I'm all about real change. Yeah, you're about spare change. That's what you're about. You're not about real change. Real change comes with a change from within. That's how real change comes from. I know because I've changed over the
Mhm.
years. I'm not the same person I was, at 20.
So
I
you're
know
saying
where I was.
that's why history repeats itself. We're never gonna get there if everyone's trying to change their
We're
heart,
we're not getting there at all. I
even
mean,
if
I'm
that
sorry.
happens.
No, I'm saying if every heart changed, history wouldn't repeat itself. But how are you going to get, well, how many billions of people are on the earth? How are you going to get all those
Mhm.
people to change their heart? Not in the same direction, by the way. I'm not saying, oh, we have to all be philanthropic and we all have to give money to the poor and give these vagabonds and
Mhm.
homeless people on the street a
Making
quarter every time.
shows of
No,
it.
I'm not saying that. I'm
Right.
not saying that. I'm saying you've got to. I'm just read my lips, like what's his name said. Change your heart, not your mind. change your heart. That's what I'm saying. That will lead to history not repeating itself. And it'll be a different history. Okay, that's it.
How does that lead us to the truth?
Well, that is the truth. The truth is, unless we change our, not our opinions, but like I say, inside, we can't hear the truth.
We're not letting it in.
Remember what he said. He said, all those who starve or are dying for the truth, that are just thirsty for the truth, hear my voice. Well, how many of those people are there? Come on. Nobody likes the truth because they're afraid of it. Okay. So you can't fear the truth. You have to embrace the truth. That's what you have to do. That's what you have to do. That's the truth. That's my truth. Until, all right, I said it though. You got to crystallize it. Okay. It's the change of heart that will change history. That's the truth. That is the truth. And everybody else, I'm sorry, everything else we talk about, the truth, the stove is on, the refrigerator door is open. Those are truths. If it's open, it's open. What is, what isn't. You can't change that. In the next second, you can. I could be bleeding to death right now, but in 2 seconds, somebody could stitch me up and I'm not bleeding to death anymore. Okay. So what is in a given moment is. What isn't in a given moment isn't. There's nothing you can do about it in that given moment. You see what I'm saying? Sort of. Well, I'm sorry if you don't. Okay, there's a mountain range over there. Okay, I can't change that. There is a mountain range there. What is. There is. That depends on what the definition of is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there is. Yeah, I know. I love that. That was fantastic. He was brilliant in that moment. Anyway, right. Albeit, not such a great moment, but nevertheless.
But the mountain range is there.
The mountain range is there. Now, yes, you could get a bunch of dynamite and blow a hole through it like they do for highways. And then there's no longer a mountain range. There's a little range here and a little range here. And in the middle, there's a road. You can change things. That's the beauty part about life. You can change all the time. That's beautiful. But accept the way you are at the moment. The minute you accept the way you are, the truth is then there will be change. Change of heart, change in your behavior, change of everything. But until you accept the inevitable that this is the way it is. Let's say I'm broke. Okay, you just say, I'm broke. I have no money. Now, what am I going to do about it? You can go from that point, from that vantage point, you can earn money and you can not be broke, right? But if you don't know that you're broke, if you don't have any idea that you're broke, you are dead. You have no choice. You're static. You're done.
You're not living.
You're not living. That's not a breakthrough. To say, well, you know what? Yeah. I'm still finding myself. I don't know myself. Okay, that's static. But someone who's on the right path is enlightened and they're going forward. Okay?
Well, even if you don't know yourself and you're still on the path to finding yourself, even though
that's fine. That's fine.
That's fine too.
Yep. Yeah, I missed that. I'm sorry. You got me on that one.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm not perfect, Yeah. I mean, I don't have the answers, like I said at the top of the show, and I said in the promo stuff. There are no answers. I'm only posing scenarios and questions, and that's how you get the answers for yourself. So everybody's got to get. Have you noticed how everybody's got to come to the truth themselves? You can't serve it up on a silver platter. Hey, Jennifer, just do exactly what I do, and you will have the truth. That does not happen. People, the change of within, change from within has to come singularly, not cumulatively, and not as a group. It's like saying all Mexicans are lazy, all Polish people are stupid, and all Armenians have bad body odor. Laughter. You see what I mean? These are these things that people tend to group their opinions together and say, this group is this. No,
Mhm.
you have to. I know lots of Mexicans that are not lazy, very hardworking ones. I know lots of Armenians that don't have bad body odor. I'm one. I take three showers a day. I don't have bad body odor. I don't. Maybe some others do, and
Is that
I
the
don't
truth?
know. And I know a lot of Polish people. Yes, thank you. I'm not sure that's a good thing. My dad used to think it was terrible. I mean, I'd be in the shower for 40 minutes trying to clean every hair and say, "What are you doing in there?" And he called me all kinds of names too. We're in the car
Yeah.
waiting for you to go to the movie, and you're still in the shower.
Yeah.
But anyway,
But I do want to take a moment here while we're talking about the truth and what we're about, the show Jack Price is Right, to mention that we are live every Friday with Jack Price is Right, and we've got so many hard-hitting topics. I mean, we started off with truth, but we have so much more in store. I mean, already around 68 topics so far, and they're all coming up, so don't miss out. And check out this little preview we've got for you.
wow,
That was a sneak preview
it
of our
sounds
next
like
episode on faith.
And that's the way it is. Wednesday, like
Yeah, so we're just covering a couple
No,
of
it's
little
like
casual
no, it
topics.
sounds like a news show. It's really funny. Yeah.
Yeah, little things like truth.
Yeah, I
and
could
faith.
broadcast the news, but it would be a little different. Anyway,
Right.
it would yeah, it would be a little different.
But yeah, you can check us out on our YouTube channel at Virtual Concert Halls. We're also on Twitch, LinkedIn, Alignable, streaming on all major platforms. And yeah, check us out on virtualconcerthalls.com and priceattractions.com.
TikTok, Twitch.
Yeah.
What are all these names? It's unbelievable, these platforms. There must be hundreds of them by now, right? I mean,
at least.
there are Russian ones and Greek ones
and
I noticed
more
the other day. Yeah, I mean, they're just coming up out of nowhere. And yeah, you can watch us on many of them. I guess you could say that, right? Many, not all. But anyway, wrapping it up in terms of the truth, I think that, I mean, obviously, I'm not saying anything new. It's the way you say it, right? They said that about somebody else in history. It's not that everything he says is so unique or novel, but it's the way you say it. So it's the way you say something, that's the truth, that really penetrates the mind. I mean,
and because it's such an individual journey, like you were saying, because no one can just tell you one truth, one simple answer for every person that'll just magically change your lives.
No, because the truth comes
you encounter in different ways. Yeah, the way you're hearing it, the way you're accepting it, the way you're receiving it. That all.
Yeah, the way I came to, you want to know how I came to the truth was through piano playing. One day, I'll never forget, it was in 1982, November of 1982. I was playing the Brahms Second Concerto, and I said, okay, this is just baloney. There's something wrong here. And what I figured out was just what I said. I was doing the same thing over and over and repeating history. And then all of a sudden I started having breakthroughs. And that's where I came up with this: if you're not breaking through, you're not living. And everybody made fun of me. I was at Ravinia one time. This guy imitated me. Hey, I just had a major breakthrough in the practice room. Oh yeah, there's Richie. He had a major breakthrough. Or there's Richie, the protector of standards. They call me all these weird names and titles. Well, I'm not any of those things, but I do have breakthroughs, and breakthroughs are like breathing. I think it's funny when, I get clients that call me up and they go, people cry when I play, and I go, yeah, I know, I'm crying right now. It's like, they don't think about what they're saying. That's not a breakthrough. Okay. Playing great is not that great. It's the process that's great. Okay. Another story. So there's this baker that several bakers that make this huge cake the size of a room. And so to make that cake, they had to have other bakers teach them how to bake that cake. And before those guys, they had teachers that told those bakers how to bake. And so there's this process of a lineage of tutors and students. And finally, we have this fantastic cake.
All this build up.
Is the process the most important thing, or is tasting piece of the cake the most important thing? Think about it. Is the end result, tasting that cake, the most important thing? Or is it the process to arrive at that perfect cake more important? Well, the obvious answer
Mhm.
is the process. But fatalists will say, if I don't have a taste of that cake, I don't give a crap. I don't care about your process. I don't care about your breakthroughs. I need to taste that cake. And those are the pink pony people. I need my pink pony now, and I want it now. And I can't wait for Christmas. What is that Willy Wonky thing? Willy Wonka. Yeah. Yes. I want my pink pony, and I want it now,
Oh
Daddy. You know, that's the, I mean, come on.
God.
Is
Yeah.
this, again, is this dial a joke or what? I mean, can't people just enjoy what they're doing, or do they always have to win? You know what I mean? That's kind of like it. I got to beat everybody. That's a truth. You don't have to
Mhm.
beat everybody. Well, it's not a contest. It's a growth thing. It's a process. They
Yeah.
always talk about the process. I get kind of tired of hearing the, the
Mhm.
process. I mean, okay, it is a process. These are sayings that are true. It's a process. Or, what's her name? I'm
Mhm.
not going to mention her name. She said, it takes a village, to raise a child,
It
right?
takes a
Okay,
village. Yeah.
we all know who said that, right? But there's truth in it. Whoever wrote it, I don't think she wrote it, but
Right.
or made it up. But there's truth. Maybe she did. There is truth in that. It does take a lot of people to form a person. A person
Yeah.
is influenced by a lot of people. I'm influenced by so many people. They go, oh, well, he's a John Perry student. Well, I'm sorry. I'm not just a John Perry student. I'm
It's
an
all the
artist.
processes
And,
and
and
all
I've
the
had other
building.
teachers too, George Bollett,
Right.
Claudio Arau, Arnold Bullock. I've had all these goofballs as teachers. I call
Right.
them goofballs. Even people I respect, I call goofballs. So don't be offended out there in TV land. I'm a goofball. That's pretty obvious. So anyway, the thing
Hmm.
is,
Can confirm.
you cannot you cannot say that you are a product of something or someone. It is a village. It takes a lot of people and influence to make up a personality, to make up a full person, a person that's whole. And
Like
oh
the
wow, that
processes you
person,
were talking about, all the
yeah,
processes added up together
yeah,
build.
like the cake process. It takes all these tutors and all these students and to make the ultimate cake. But do you have
Mhm.
to taste the cake? No, you don't. You can just sit there and look at it. You don't have to taste it. You can say, "Wow, that was one hell of a process. I learned a lot." And I'm
Mhm.
alluding to competition, okay? And it's another
Yeah.
topic for another day. Why do you
Mhm.
have to win all the time? Why? Why do you have to beat up everybody? Why don't you just enjoy what you're doing? You know, for
Mm.
example, we broadcast the other day the Lake Tahoe Symphony or Tahoe, and yeah, okay, the orchestra's, it's not the Berlin Philharmonic, okay, but why does it have to be? Does it have to be the Berlin Philharmonic or the Cleveland Orchestra? No, it does not. It was highly
Mm.
entertaining, and we got a lot of hits, and it was fun. Like someone I
It
know,
was.
Anna Uspinskaya says, "Are you having fun? It's really fun."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I like to have fun. She's right. Fun
Yeah.
is a lot more than crime. It's a lot better than sitting there and going, "Oh wow, my life."
Mhm.
Oh wow,
There's a place for fun.
I
And
think everything should be fun, or don't do it. If it's not fun,
right.
don't do it. Find something
Totally.
else to do that is. You know, there's
Mhm.
a truth. I mean, truth is
Okay.
all around us. It's in every fiber of our being. I mean, it's all a miracle that we're even here. That's the truth.
All right. Well, with
That's
that,
it. I'm
I
kind
hate
of
to
like
cut you
out of
off,
ideas now. Well, you don't have to cut
but
me off. That's all there
when we're on
is.
a roll. But I mean, that's all the time I think we've got for the truth. This has been really interesting to get into. I mean, it's such a huge topic, though, and like you're saying, it's interconnected with so many other upcoming topics that we have in store as well. But um, I think for concepts such as truth, we'll need at least a part two,
Oh
or
yeah, I
maybe
was going
like
to say
10, maybe
there will
part
be
10.
truth part 2, 3, and 4, but it'll come way later after the other 68 topics.
Mhm.
We have
And
way
like you're
too
saying,
much
it's
to
about the
cover.
process, like what we've just gone through. we've gone through a whole process of trying to find answers to the truth. And like you were also saying before, it's the way you say it, right? And if we can
Yes.
in some way find that way that'll hit for someone in our audiences, that'll work for them, that'll inspire a change in heart for them, I think that'll make it all worth it.
Well,
So
that's what interpretation's all about too. I mean, it everybody doesn't have the same viewpoint, so they're not going to have the same interpretation. That's what
mhm,
makes the world go round is variety, variety of
mhm.
everything, variety of touch, variety of smell, variety of taste,
Of
variety
fun
of
and
opinions.
of Berlin Philharmonic versus
Yeah,
fun
I mean, all right,
is
take
for all
this
of
premise
us.
since you brought it up. The Tahoe Symphony Orchestra has a right to play, like Israel has a
All
right to
right.
exist. Yeah, they have a
Uh-huh.
right to play, and they have an audience, and it's not the same audience as the one in Chicago that the Chicago Symphony has. These audiences are
Right.
different. This is a fun loving audience. They had a 4th of July celebration. It was fun, Stars and
Mhm.
Stripes forever. I mean, so what if it's out of tune? Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Well,
have fun.
um, that's a good
Fun is good.
thing to
I
leave off
like
on.
fun.
And
Yeah.
yeah, me too. So this has been a lot of fun. I just want to say
Yeah.
thank you for being with us,
It's been a lot
Richie,
of fun. That's right.
Jack Price.
You're
And
welcome.
with that,
It was fun to be with you too. You're
all
a
right,
great
glad to hear.
I
Is
don't know what to call you.
that true? Is that right?
That's true.
Yeah.
You're a lot of fun. The
Um,
sidekick? No, I don't think. I think this is your show rather than mine.
I don't know
You
about
should be.
that.
Yeah. You start it and end it. So I'm just like
All
hanging
right.
around.
Well, we'll say goodbye to Richie. That was Jack Price as
Take
well.
care.
And with
See you
that,
next
I
time.
think the time is right. And we got to go. I want to take a moment here also to thank our partners and sponsors. They're with us every step of the way. Like we were saying, so much goes into building anything, building a single person, building an organization, and without all these supporters behind our backs, having our backs, I don't know where we would be, and I don't know how we could do any of this without any of you. And we're sincerely grateful to have you along with us for the journey. And also a shout out to the production team. Today's broadcast was powered by Christian Palagi, directing behind the scenes. He's been a wizard, just supporting the whole show. Yeah, you can see all our names of our production team on here, and big shout out to Kiki. And with that, I think that's all we've got for you today. This has been Jack Price is Right. I'm your host, Jennifer Savage, and I hope you got a little something out of it. I know I did. See you next week.